It can only be attributable to human error.
You're entering paranormal.
He meddled in things that you think
Where will we go next? This phantom from another time.
No one, Mr. Mulder.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
That is one big pile of shit.
Hi everyone, I'm Luscious Kaiju. Across from me,
Eli Watson.
and to my left,
Stephen Myers.
and we are
Cryptid Campfire.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. We're out on the raft, floating through the ocean,
Doing something.
hanging out. Jasmine's off living, laughing, and loving at the moment. She'll be back with us momentarily.
Yeah, she's enjoying her New Year's celebration.
Oh,
As everyone else who's listening to
It's
this
Celebration
should.
Day.
It's Celebration Day.
hey.
It's a brand new year. New me, new you. Actually, that's...
What's it to you?
0022. Just kidding, it's 2020.
Oh man, 2002 is like 5 years ago, right? Still
Oh
2008.
my god.
All right.
But yeah, so today we're talking about the tentacle fairy that is,
The Lusca.
ooh,
Sharktopus.
Sharktopus.
As it's known to the high cultured crowd.
It's just a giant octopus.
We brought civilization to the octopus.
Oh, no.
Been hard on both sides.
Well, the Lusca, its domains are back in the Bermuda Triangle.
One of the 12 vortices of evil.
Yeah. So we're focusing on a specific island of the Bahamas, and it is called the island of Andros. It is also the largest island in the Bahamas. It's approximately 104 by 40 miles. So
It's a big island.
That's
it
big.
is a big island, but it's also the least explored. So it's really like thick mangrove-y type of area. But they have these holes called the blue holes that reach down into the depths of the water.
That's like a, remember we were talking about, I don't know if this was before or after, we were talking about the 12 vortexes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what if it be a video game? It's like, this is like the little like DLC area towards like the island of Andros, the most unexplored island of the Caribbean.
But
What awaits the horrors?
But even cooler is that all these blue holes are connected by a cave system underneath.
Hollow Earth, baby.
Yeah,
really
so
nuts.
like that's even cooler.
That's
You're
like
like
where
on
you
the-
fight the mole men, but they're like
What?
aquatic mole men.
Oh yeah, a bunch of little Luscas, dude, and you have this giant one that's just like spawning them.
They're what caused the collapse of the Bronze Age.
Yeah,
They're the
dude.
sea people.
Dude, that's sick.
And they've been like breeding with the natives up above and making like
no.
hybrids.
Oh no, dude, that's crazy. But yeah, so
So there's a Caribbean island, Andros, I think it's called.
Andros,
which is
yeah.
a cool name.
yeah, and it's important to note, I guess I should say, that the blue holes aren't solely inland; they're also in the ocean themselves.
Yeah.
And
It's
so,
these giant, like basically blue holes that connect to each other.
yeah.
It's just this elaborate like cave system that you can travel through.
Yeah, it's pretty
I think
But
they
it likes-
mapped it, right?
Yeah.
Or they tried to.
I'm not sure, actually.
I thought I read something where they tried to map it, and they're like it connects in a lot of different ways to where it's like this is almost like a big ant.
Like colony.
Like an ant farm?
Ant
Okay.
farm, yeah. To where it's just you're like, wow,
I guess colony would probably
Well,
be better.
I don't know. It was just
it's pretty cool.
yeah. It's
What lives in it?
well,
One thing.
according to Wikipedia, which is, as we know, the best source of information,
The only
the only source of information, the Lusca is said to grow to be over 75 feet long, sometimes even reaching lengths of 200 feet.
which is insane.
That's
Yeah.
such a big jump.
I know.
I know.
Because it's like, they've been up to 75 feet. You're like, gosh, that's big. Like, the biggest great white is like 30 feet. So that's two great white lengthwise. You're like, and they're like, yeah. Or they get up to 200 feet too. Like, whoa!
Yeah.
That's the Statue of Liberty. That's a big jump.
It's true. Oh, it's also mentioned that it can change color.
Whoa.
which is something
Yeah.
small octopuses can do.
Yeah.
Well, that's the proper terminology. Octopi is not a real word.
But it sounds
Octopuses.
catchier.
So why is it cacti and not cactuses?
Why is it mice
Makes
and
you
not...
sound sophisticated, like.
Why is it mice and not Mises?
I'm gonna smash those Mises into pieces. So sometimes it's described as being half octopus, and sometimes like half octopus and half beautiful woman with long hair that it tangles you in before its tentacles drag you down to Davy Jones's locker.
Yeah.
It's two sets of like entangling equipment. She's got her hair that holds you in place while the other tentacles show up and grab you.
Yeah, dude.
Horrible.
Pretty sketch. But it's also the natives. The word Lusca really means like shark octopus because it has like features of both like sharks and octopi.
Basically, an octopus with a shark for a head.
Yeah, that's yeah.
To
You're
put
like-
it in scientific
The way they
terms.
describe it, you're just trying to imagine like a weird brew of the two, and like you see a picture, it's literally like just a shark head and then tentacles. You're like, oh, okay.
It's
Like
so-
that's not what I thought, but
It's
alright.
so funny looking. It's
Yeah.
not scary at all.
It's like one of those toys
No.
like Sid put together in Toy Story. That's what that looks
And,
like.
it looks like, yeah, especially it looks like a toy came to life.
Yeah, it's nasty, dude.
Well, I don't know, that's just like artistic depiction.
Well, I know.
I don't think that's what.
Well, it's
everyone's
funny
thinking
too
of.
because someone made a diagram of how they feed, and it's like it's stretched all the way bottom on the floor with the tentacles up, and then it's just a shark head sitting upwards. So, like,
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't
they use
even-
they use the tentacles to entrap the a victim while it drags it close to the mouth. It's like, why is it a shark head? Because if you look at squids and octopi, well, especially squids, they have beaks. It's a simplified version because, you know, as humans we have teeth because sometimes we eat different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that.
Well,
we li-
octopuses also have beaks.
but they're more internal almost. I think they're more
Yeah.
like they're almost like two big like blocks, like two big teeth almost.
Yeah.
But with a squid, it's like, what's a simplified version of something to eat with? A beak. It's just two groping pinchers that pluck and eat and can break through everything. And it's like, okay. And it's like, oh, an octopus, you know, it's more internal grabs. It brings it upwards into basically a mouth with like simplified teeth. Like, well, the next evolution is it just got a shark head with 75 to 95 teeth at any given time and two sets of eyes, but only on one side of its head, even though it has 360 tentacles that can grab.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like it just walking around, it's like looking up at the surface of the water.
It's like waddling too. It's just like, it's so,
That's
it's
not what I imagined.
biologically
I know.
incompatible.
Yeah.
It looks stupid.
You know what, this is a little bit of a tangent, but
Okay.
do you guys know Pokemon?
Yeah. A little bit.
I,
Do you know-
I know him.
I know of him. He got the 7 Dragon Ball. The newest one, you know how they always have a fossil Pokemon type in the games?
Sure.
So in the new one, you get 2 fossil types. And this is kind of cool. It's like a fish type and a...
Alaska?
it's a fish type and like a dinosaur type or something. And the scientist mixes them together and thinks what they would have looked like, but it's a mismatched chimera of like a dinosaur head on a fish body. And it's like, you know, it's completely inappropriately put together.
Yeah.
And it's based on dinosaurs back in the day when they started finding fossils. They're like, gosh, these are like giant bones. And they would just find pieces everywhere, so they started putting them together. And if you look up early dinosaur types, there's one to where someone put like a T-Rex head on just the spine tail of a Stegosaurus and gave it 2 Brontosaurus legs, so it's a head with 2. It looks like a skull crawler skeleton. They're like, we think this could have been around the Cretaceous period. It's like, what is this? And that's what the Sharktopus is. It's just a head of a shark on a, you know, tentacles. You're like, this is so silly
I
looking.
know.
It's like what somebody who just would find. It's like a Fiji mermaid.
Yeah, something like that. But I guess if we're going to look at it semi-realistically, it would most likely probably be an octopus. Just
Yeah.
a regular octopus. Well, an octopus of gigantic proportions.
Yeah, but they say it has like shark teeth.
No, they don't. Nobody ever said that.
No?
No. Do you have a report?
Not like
Or says
shark.
it?
I guess not shark teeth, but like
Yeah.
like razor sharp teeth.
as
I
opposed to
don't-
like a normal.
I
like,
read
kinda-
that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get anything.
That's why.
on
That's
that.
why I was like imagining this like crazy creature, and the
It's like-
picture I was like, it's just a shark head.
You
No,
were
no.
picturing maybe like the Zarlak pit.
Yeah, like
So what we have here, I'm gonna set this up right now.
Mhm.
That the largest octopus in the world, aka Interoctopus, aka Giant Octopus,
Ooh.
is the
AKA
largest.
Biggie Smalls, the octopus.
Oh, and the largest found was 11 feet in length, and it weighed about 157 pounds, or 71 kgs for my British friends out there.
Ooh.
So I mean that's huge.
That, I mean,
I've seen like pictures of like divers hanging out with these giant octopus,
Mhm.
and it's terrifying because they're like bigger than you,
Mhm.
but like it's not as big as what we're gonna
It's
talk
11
about.
feet.
It's 11 feet
And it's like
of
11
sheer
feet.
muscle.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're like 11 feet. That's crazy. But they're like that's pretty big, and then we think that's about as big, maybe 20 feet. I'm like okay. They're like no. And then the Sharktopus, their babies are 20 feet. And they grow up to be 200 feet, the size of a battleship.
So I'm gonna say this as well that some more octopus facts that octopuses have the largest brain to body ratio for invertebrates.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the smartest invertebrates in the world, and they can like squeeze through tiny holes.
They
and
can get through, I think, anything the size of like a quarter.
anything that their beak can fit through is what they can get through, which is insane.
which
Isn't
is
that wild?
horrifying.
No, yeah, I saw a video today of an octopus shoving itself through. It was a 6-foot long octopus on the deck of a ship, and it shoved itself through this tiny little hole the size of a playing card, and just like, if you were like put it on its face, just like that width, it just. 6-foot octopus just shoved itself through that.
Can you imagine like going to the bathroom and seeing like an octopus slipping under the door?
Or
Gross,
you
dude.
should go into the bathroom and you see a tentacle coming out of the sink.
It's like coming out of the toilet, dude. Like climb through. That'd be
Yeah.
horrifying.
But again, to set up the scene with more octopus facts.
Yes.
So those giant octopus live in like the northern Atlantic in like cold waters because I guess there's more oxygen in it. It allows them to get bigger. Because the ones in the Bahamas are like 4.5 pounds, and they're like maybe a couple of feet in length.
what?
They're tiny. They'll like fit on your finger.
All
dude.
that salt water.
Like it's just that's what we're dealing with. That's what's like so like outrageous about it because they're saying there's this sharktopus out there, but the only octopuses out there are like tiny.
It's what happens is when you get 10,000 tiny octopuses together, they become the size of a sharktopus.
It's like
and
a
become
megazord.
They become a hive mind and start living as a sharktopus.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, dude. But so this is a reported sighting of a supposed Lusca, which takes us to the year 2011, and when chunks of an octopus like washed ashore on Bimini Island. And so it wasn't the entire octopus. They had like the mantelpiece, and like using like biological, ratios, they kind of guesstimated the size of what it would have been alive. It would have been 30 feet long. Like that's the biggest octopus that's ever been recorded.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like a real thing that was found. And there's like photos of it.
Yeah.
I saw them. I saw the photos.
Ooh, maybe
But
we
yeah.
should
You
put
got the
them
photos?
up. Put them
Yeah, I
up
got
on
the
the
photos.
gram.
Yeah, I will.
Look at this big old octopus.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy though.
Mhm.
Like
30 feet. That's pretty big for. Just imagine you're just like swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, a
Just
30-foot creature, dude.
Yeah.
just
a
passes
creature.
you, and it has 8 arms,
Ah,
and
Yeah.
it's looking hungry.
and it's super smart too.
Yeah, it's a big
Huh.
old nerd.
But that wasn't also like the first time that kind of thing happened. So the St. Augustine monster was a globster that washed ashore near St. Augustine, Florida back in 1896. And so evidence
It was in Florida, right?
it
You
was in
said?
Florida,
Yeah.
but that's still part of the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh no.
So like evidence, I guess somehow they analyzed this thing
Ooh, gross.
like 100 years after it was found.
It looks like a leather sock.
Yeah, so that was found in 1896,
It just like washed up on the beach.
and then they did a test in 1995 I'm not sure what they tested, but they said it was most likely chunks of sperm whale. So,
imagine that washes up on beach. They're like, all right, we got some DNA, and 100 years later or so, they can actually do a DNA testing of it from preserved files of it. 50%, or it's 25%, or it's 30% octopi, 25% coleopod type. 7% unknown, 15% human.
okay.
And they're like, we got octopus human hybrids down there. They've been mating on Bonobos Island again.
Bonobos Island? What is Bonobos Island?
You mentioned an island with a B name and stuff.
You talking about Bimini Island?
Yeah.
Bonobos Island.
The Great Cthulhu, he's gonna rise again.
All right, so I'm going to talk about some reports right now of some supposed stories. It's very hard to track them down.
So don't question them.
Well, I don't think there's anyone really out there researching them. I think the people who live on Andros don't really. It's like a thing, you know what I mean? It's not like you're going to go out and investigate it.
It's just the neighborhood
It's the Lusca.
octopus.
Yeah, oh yeah, and that's something I should bring up right now is that like they're like so worried about the Lusca, they think like noise will bring it up to the surface of these blue holes. So when like fishermen are walking around these blue holes, they'll walk in complete silence because they don't want to
Like tiptoeing past.
Yeah, dude.
Ooh.
So we have this story here about this group of friends that were swimming in one of these inland blue holes, just like chilling,
Relaxing, maxing.
And this male member of the group is just pulled under. He doesn't come back up and scream. There is no scream. He's just pulled under, and that's the last they ever see of him.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so people say that it's not a shark because a shark, bites things, thrashes them, rips them apart.
You've seen Jaws?
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
Or even Shark Week, whenever they bite like seals, they don't eat all of seals. They just like eat half of them and they just leave them, and it's like this just pulled somebody underneath and that was it. Like that was the end for him. But
Bad day at the beach.
Yeah, dude.
Stay away from the blue holes.
Right,
So-
it's in the name.
But I have some other strange stories here. So in 2005, a photographer claimed to have been
that's a
attacked by
good
an
one.
octopus. He said it was 50 feet long. And he like instinctively put his camera out to like kind of protect him. And it just like whipped its tentacles, grabbed that camera and swam away, dude.
Dang.
Like a whip.
That was like a big vibe check.
A big vibe check.
He's like, don't take my pictures without my permission. I do not consent to the paparazzi. And the octopus took the camera away.
I got one if you want me to read one.
Please.
And like none of these are very specific with like time or place.
Yeah.
But there's a story of a man, excuse me. This is a man who was swimming near a blue hole around sundown, was violently grabbed and pulled underwater. And it says he managed to get away and get to shore and later noticed he had huge sucker marks on his thigh where
Yeah.
he had been grabbed.
Oh.
Which is pretty, can you imagine like not having any idea like what just pulled you under and you go and you have like these huge marks on your leg?
Dude, that would be scary.
They're like big hickeys.
Oh, my,
Oh, no.
it's pretty wild.
That's scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Especially just like, you're just like, I've been marked by the mark of the octopus.
Dude, what if it just never went away?
Oh, dude, that would suck.
What if it
Yikes.
started growing like little
Oh.
tentacles out of it?
Oh, that's nasty, dude. Why you gotta do that? So I also have this of a story of a group of divers who were trying to capture a Lusca.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I can tell, that they set up like these traps on the ocean floor, and they had it like connected to their boat.
Yeah, it says they realized something large and heavy was pulling on the traps that they set up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was breaking lines. And then it says one of these traps was pulled so hard that the boat was dragged along at a speed of 1 knot, which is pretty nuts.
That's pretty fast.
What's 1 knot?
What's 1 knot? Oh, it's like a mile an hour.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess
Still,
But still, yeah, that's
underwater, dude?
Yeah.
that's pretty
Something
pretty
pulling you?
wild.
Yeah.
But
That's the next Fast and Furious movie.
yeah, exactly. They're gonna have a Lusca pull them.
That's how they're gonna defeat the Soviets.
But it says the sonar revealed that it was a large pyramid-shaped creature that was pulling them.
Yeah, that's
And then it
crazy.
says after the boat
Ooh.
stopped and the line went slack, they pulled the trap up and they saw it was like twisted and all bent and everything. Like,
Yeah.
What if it was a USO?
Could have been
A
USO.
triangle?
who's to
It was
say?
or pyramid-shaped USO, a USO flying or swimming through the air. It has some kind of like, aerodynamic hooks or whatever on it, and the trap gets caught on it, just gets like destroyed. Could you imagine?
no.
I don't know, dude. It's pretty wild.
That was like a hit and run.
Yeah. But like we said, I mean, they're just kind of vague.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's really any credence to the stories.
Mhm.
What we do have and what we do know about octopuses, more octopus facts for you all.
Mhm.
And I kind of borrowed some research from my good friend Bob Gimlin, not to be confused with the guy who made the PGF.
I was gonna say little cowboy Bob Gimlin.
Cowboy Bob Gimlin. There's a YouTuber named Bob Gimlin who also talks about Bigfoot quite a lot.
Oh,
The only difference between their names is so PGF Cowboy Bob Gimlin is Gimlin, and YouTuber Gimlin is Gymlan.
Huh.
So it's just
Whoa.
2 letters.
You could probably spell that name a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think you can.
There ain't room for 2 Gimlins in this town here, partner.
Well, so he enlightened me to the fact that female octopuses die after giving birth,
Oof.
and that male octopuses die after fertilization.
Oh.
So like
Ugh.
octopuses' lifespans are really determined by when they decide to procreate.
They hit it and then they quit it.
Yeah, dude.
Isn't
they
that
just,
nuts?
Yeah,
That some animals literally just like
it's a chemical release in their
Yeah,
brain.
it's
It
nuts.
just like
Well,
goes
it's
off.
crazy too because it's just like, well, you're a species that's been biologically, programmed to be like, all right, we're gonna swim around, we're gonna eat some fishes, we're gonna do our things. All right, time to make some babies. All right, dead.
yeah, like
Baby's born. All right, I'm done.
you
Bye.
finally have sex and you have like a minute left of your life. It's like a ticking
it.
time bomb, dude.
That's it, dude.
I wonder if they're. Oh, that's crazy. Do they just like drift off and die, or do their like brains explode?
I think they just kind of drift off.
Can you imagine?
But-
Just seeing like a dead octopus in the water.
I'm sure somebody has.
Well, I know. But like, I'm
With,
trying
like-
to think about it
With
right
like
now.
a cigarette in its mouth.
Got sunglasses on.
So,
It's cool, kids.
but what happens if you have an octopus that's born sterile or becomes sterile at one point in its life?
Becomes invincible.
It becomes immortal.
Basically, up until like something kills it,
Yeah.
it's like immortal. I mean, I guess technically speaking, we all are. I guess until something kills us. I mean,
We look you in the face, time, and we laugh. We are immortal. We are
That's pretty nuts, dude.
demigods in this modern world.
So if you see like an old octopus, dude, that's the homie.
but that's
guy's
what we're
been
saying
around.
is that like octopuses don't really stop growing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're only stopped when they die.
The
So
Lusca's the grandmaster, dude.
That's what-
It
yeah.
has all the wisdom.
And I mean, you're talking about this interconnected cave system, like deep below, like it can probably get to pretty big sizes, you know?
Mm-hmm. What if it just grew in like a say there's like a cave and it kept growing, but it got stuck in the cave and its tentacles just kept growing. They poke in and out of the tentacle of the tunnels. It's almost like a giant living octopus plant now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And the cave system is like engulfed in its like tentacles that just keep growing and growing in. That'd be cool.
That
Yeah,
would be cool.
but they talk about, or Gimlin talks about in his video, how some catfish, given like small areas to live, can grow to be like ginormous sizes, you know?
A big fish in a small pond.
Yeah, kind of like it's like a form of island gigantism, I guess. You know what I mean? Where things in a limited area just for some reason just grow immensely huge. So, could this be a situation of an octopus just being ridiculously large? I think it's possible.
It could be. I mean, you know, you give it time, and it's just like, oh, you know, I'm not feeling, you know, in the mood today. I'm just gonna keep growing and eating, and I'm gonna be just this giant octopus that's like
Yeah.
a modern myth.
And like, imagine, you know, if you have one of these, this octopus could probably camouflage itself into the rocks in the caves, so you wouldn't really be able to tell that it was there.
The entire cave is the octopus. Get out! It just starts closing in, and you just see tentacles just closing in at the mouth of the tunnel. Like
It's the remake of Pinocchio, dude. Geppetto's in there. He's like, nah.
It's a giant
Pinocchio,
octopus.
don't leave me.
What's that whale's name again?
It's
That's
whale of a tail.
I have no idea.
Ginormica.
no, it's
No, what is
something
it?
cool.
Not Moby, right?
Whale and Pinocchio. What? Monstro.
Monstro, that's right.
That's the one, dude.
Monstro.
Monstro.
It's Moby Dick.
Um,
Too. This time it's bigger.
But another thing that the people on Andros Island say is that, or it's kind of folklore-y, but the tides in the blue holes, they say, are governed by the Lusca's breath. Like, its breathing is like shifting that much water.
Ooh.
It's nuts.
So, yeah.
It's got
You just
asthma.
get sucked into a whirlpool straight into a mouth, dude.
Dude, it'd be insane.
Or even worse, it's nostril.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's gooey in here.
Like, it's pretty wild. Octopuses are really smart.
Dude,
No,
yeah.
it's crazy to think that it's just, you know, it's like, oh, hey, we're, you know, on land, you know, we're the top of the food chain, baby. We got big brains, we got big hearts, we live, we laugh, we love. And then under the ocean, they're just like floating brains that can go
Yeah.
anything they want, and they're super strong and can rip you apart. They're like, puny humans, we don't need corporeal forms, we got nothing but brains.
I know.
We have shed our
we, like,
mortal bodies.
we sit up here and we're like, yeah, you guys taste good with breading.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all I have on the Lusca.
Yeah, I think it's a fun myth.
Yeah.
It's you can't beat the visual of a shark head on an octopus body. They've made plenty of movies.
I think
since
it's real.
2011.
It
I
just
think
has a
it's
fin,
real,
too,
Alex.
in the back. Where would the fin go?
I have no idea.
On like the front tentacle.
I don't know. It's like middle of the forehead.
It's super aerodynamic. But yeah, so the Lusca's a fun idea,
Yeah.
but it's just, I think that's all it is. It's a really fun idea for, you know, maybe, you know, people getting into whirlpool, or, you know, being like, just don't go out there. We saw something under there. It's something big, but
Nah, dude, it's an octopus living in the caves, bro.
ah,
It's not a sharktopus.
it's the hybrid human children of Mother Dagra and Father Hydra from Lovecraft.
But, yeah. Let us know what you think about
Yeah,
the
what do you
Lusca.
guys think of the Lusca? You should let us know. If you want to know more about me, I'm Alex Daikaiju. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Alex Daikaiju. Alex DAIKAIJU. And what about you, buddy?
On Instagram at Myers Stefan,
Ooh.
and that's it. That's my only
How do I
social
spell
media. It's MYERSSTEFFEN.
Dang, dude.
One man, one social media account. How will he survive in
Think of it.
Turbo Chase Cybercrime? And what about you?
That's better than I thought.
And what about you, fella?
about you, big man?
Where can we find you?
You can find me at the Eli Watson on Instagram and Twitter, and you can also follow the official Cryptid Campfire Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I run all three of those,
Mm-hmm.
and so one man, 5 social media accounts.
How will you survive? And
I have more. But you can also go to cryptidcampfire.com to get your official Cryptid Campfire t-shirt.
ooh, styling.
They're only $20. Shipping is included in that cost. That's easy money in the bank for y'all. And you can also, if you feel like supporting us in a different way, or in addition to purchasing a t-shirt, you can follow us on Patreon,
Ooh.
where if you join the $5 tier, you get exclusive to access episodes.
Episodes, I think exclusive video content.
Sometimes, yeah.
And you never know. the Patreon's still new, so we're still figuring out.
Yeah.
You know what's the $5 tier, so you're gonna get all kinds of cool stuff till we start figuring it out. So you want to get on early,
True that.
and get that learning experience from us.
True that. And so we wish you a happy new year.
Heck yeah, 2020 baby.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And see you later.